Hey y'all! So this video is like super impromptu. I wasn't planning on filming a video, but I just randomly felt like filming one and I didn't have anything else that I was really doing, so I decided to just go ahead and go with it. And I apologize if the road noise is really loud. I didn't think it would be this loud at midnight, so I don't know. This is what happens when you live on a busy street. Also, I decided to switch it up a little bit today because, contrary to evidence on my channel, I do own a beanie that's not black and hoodies and shirts that are not black or gray. So today I'm going to be doing the Booktuber TMI tag. I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I decided to do it because it sounded like fun. And there are 50 questions in this tag, so I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's jump into it. Question number 1. Whose clothing style from a book do you like? For this I'm going to have to go with Triss from the Divergent trilogy because as someone in Dauntless, she wears all black and I like black. I like wearing black. I wear a lot of black. So yeah, edgy black clothes are fine by me. Question number 2 is your book boyfriend slash fictional crush. And I have a lot of these. Jace from the Mortal Instruments series, Jem from the Infernal Devices, Magnus Bane from both of those series, Fred and George Weasley. I mean, how did I not mention them first? They're bae. Yeah, I think those would have to be the ones that I would go with. Question number 3, have you ever loved a character and then started hating them? Yeah, I think that happened with everyone with Twilight because, like, everyone loved Twilight when the books first came out, and then as the movie started coming out, everyone just started hating everything about Twilight, and that kind of happened to me too. And I honestly didn't mind Bella the first time I read the book, but now I kind of can't stand her. So yeah, it's happened. Question number 4, biggest slash longest book on your shelf. And I have several of these. The Wise Man's Fear is 1,000 pages. A Storm of Swords is over 1,000 pages. I believe The Way of Kings is also at least 1,000 pages long. And Infinite Jest is also over 1,000 pages long. So yeah, definitely one of those. Question number 5 is heaviest book on your shelf, and I just went with Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. It's a hardcover, it's really heavy, it's the longest one. Yeah. Question number 6 is do you have any book posters? And here at my apartment at college, no. However, at home I do have, they're not posters, but they are framed artworks. One is of the movie cover of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and the other is a drawing of Harry and Ron and Hermione from the third movie. And if you've seen some of my videos from like near the beginning of my channel where I was filming in front of a gray wall, you'll see it off to like this side of the video. Question number 7 is do you have any book-related jewelry? And I don't have like general book jewelry, but I do have some Harry Potter themed jewelry. My friend Steph got me this Deathly Hallows necklace and this Hogwarts crest necklace for I think my 18th birthday. Yeah. Harry Potter. Question number 8 is book OTP. Hermione. Forever. Ron and Hermione. Yes. Question number 9 is favorite book series, and obviously it's Harry Potter, like if I didn't already make that clear. However, I am soon going to be doing a video where I list my top 10 favorite series, excluding Harry Potter because it's an obvious one. But that should be coming up maybe near the end of March or at the beginning of April. I kind of want to read a couple more series that I have on my TBR before I actually make that video and finish some unfinished series like The Bone Season and the ones that are out of the Kingkiller Chronicle. Question number 10 is favorite book to movie soundtrack. And I have no idea. Book to movie soundtrack. I don't even have any of those. I honestly don't think I have one of those. I'm not big on movie soundtracks. I mean, I'm a music major, so I probably should pay more attention to that. But yeah, I think the only movie soundtracks that I have are like Hairspray and Sweeney Todd, which are musicals and not like book to movie adaptations, so I don't think I have a book to movie soundtrack that's my favorite. Question number 11 is a book story that you miss or wish would continue. I think other than the obvious, I would probably have to go with the Infernal Devices because I absolutely love the characters in that trilogy and I want it to be more than a trilogy. However, we are getting a spin-off series called The Last Hours that focuses on the children of the main characters in the Infernal Devices, so I mean, we're kind of getting more of that. Question number 12 is favorite standalone, and since I talk about my absolute favorite standalone a lot, I'm just gonna tell you my 3 favorite because these 3 are like top of the top, like best things ever. So we have Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, and of course, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Question number 13 is since when do you read books? Since I was 3. I learned to read very, very, very young. My mom taught me at home before I even started preschool. So I've been reading for a very long time, and I was an avid reader all through school. It dwindled off in college a little bit, and it's only been over the past year that I've been reading like really regularly again, but I've always been a pretty avid reader. I dragged my mom to the library constantly in elementary school. Question number 14 is which Hogwarts house are you in? And this is like a constant point of debate for me. I just prefer to call myself a Slytherclaw. I feel like I'm right in the middle between a Slytherin and a Ravenclaw, and I have trouble committing to one house. On the one hand, I really appreciate the qualities that are really important to Ravenclaws, such as intelligence and creativity and wittiness. However, I also think that the Slytherin qualities are really important too, and they make up very large portions of my personality. And so I have trouble committing to one house over the other. I think if I had like a gun pressed to my head, I would choose Ravenclaw, but like up until that point, it's just really hard for me to choose. So Slytherclaw, but if I had to choose a Ravenclaw. Question 15 is quality you look for in a book, and it's not like I just look for one quality. It's hard to answer this question. I look for lots of qualities. I don't know. I really like world building. World building's really important to me. Fantasy dystopians are also really awesome. There are just too many qualities to list. I'm thinking of doing a video inspired by Lindsay Ray's video called Bookish Buzzwords, like words that make me want to pick up a book. So yeah, you might be seeing that in a couple weeks. Question number 16 is favorite book quote. And it is from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, although it's probably not anything that you're expecting. Everybody finished the song at different times. At last, only the Weasley twins were left singing along to a very slow funeral march. Dumbledore conducted their last few lines with his wand, and when they had finished, he was one of those who clapped loudest. Ah, music, he said, wiping his eyes, a magic beyond all we do here. That last line is especially my favorite as a musician, but I just love that entire section because the Weasley twins are my favorite, and I just love that interaction between them and Dumbledore, and I think it's just great. Honestly, that's one of my favorite moments in the entire Harry Potter series. I know it's really random, but I just love it. Question 17 is favorite author, and I actually did a top 5 Wednesday on this topic, so I won't go into too much detail, but Agatha Christie and Cassandra Clare are probably my top 2. Question number 18 is favorite book cover, and for this one I'm just going to go with my usual standby choice, which is the cover of A Million Suns by Beth Revis, which is the second book in the Across the Universe trilogy. The cover for Across the Universe, which is the first book, is also gorgeous, but I really like this one because of the blues and purples. Question number 19 is action or romance? Action. Question number 20 is where do you go when a sad moment happens? And I think the more accurate question for me would be where does the book go when a sad moment happens? Because I don't go anywhere, but the book gets a bookmark thrown in it and it gets tossed across my bed because I just can't deal with it. Question 21 is how long do you need to finish a book? And this is so dependent upon so many things. I mean, it varies even for books with like the same length of pages, because I took a really long time reading The Name of the Wind, which has less than 700 pages. However, I read City of Heavenly Fire, which is like 735. I read that in a day. So it varies a lot. Even my reading speed varies a lot, because there are some books where I can fly through like 100 pages in an hour, and some books where it's closer to like 60 or maybe 50. Question number 22 is how long is your mourning period? And again, this one varies a lot based on the book. For example, my mourning period after Ready Player One was really long because this book was amazing and I wanted to pick up something similar to it afterward. And this book is just so unique that there are very few books that are similar to it. And so I just ended up like not reading anything for a really long time because I couldn't get past this book. However, there definitely have been instances where I finish a book and start a new one in the same day. It really just depends on the book. Question number 23 is least favorite book, and I don't have like one least favorite book, but there are some that stand out as ones that I really don't like. The first book that comes to mind is Looking for Alaska. I know a lot of people loved that book, but I really didn't. Question number 24 is turn on in a character. Intelligence, musical ability, sarcasm, wittiness, humor, all of those. Question 25 is turn off in a character. Characters that are really like weak and can't do anything for themselves. Those are the ones that I get annoyed by the most. Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest annoyance in characters. I was gonna say like being vain or full of themselves, but there actually are a lot of characters that I really love who are full of themselves and are really confident, so can't really say that. Jace. Question number 26 is reason I joined Booktube to talk about books. I've been a blogger for almost 2 years, and I wanted to kind of see what it would be like to talk to a camera rather than like typing everything, and I kind of got hooked. Question number 27 is name a scary book. And honestly, I've never been scared by a book. I really love horror movies, and I rarely get scared by those either, so being scared by a book would be very unlikely for me. I've heard that many people found The Diviners really creepy. I didn't find it creepy. I really loved it though, so I mean, if you get like spooked easily and you want a spooky book, go for The Diviners. This one's really great. Question number 28 is last book that made you cry, and that was The Shadow Throne by Jennifer A. Nielsen. I'll admit it, I teared up at this book. No shame. Question number 29 is last book that you gave 5 stars to, and that was The Runaway King by Jennifer A. Nielsen, which is the second book in the Ascendance trilogy, the book before the last one I just showed you. However, as far as books that got a full 10 out of 10 stars from me, the last one was The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Question number 30 is any favorite book titles? I really like the titles of all the books in the Across the Universe trilogy because they're all named after lines from Across the Universe by the Beatles. Yeah, I'd probably have to go with those, so Across the Universe, A Million Suns, and Shades of Earth, because I really like the Beatles and I love that song. Question number 31 is last book that you read, and right now as I'm filming this, the last book that I have finished is Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie. However, by the time that this video goes up, I will probably have finished a few more books because I am filming this before leaving for spring break. And so in that case, I'll just put up a picture right here of the last book that I finished. Question number 32 is book that you're currently reading, and right now I'm actually not currently reading any books because the next book that I'm planning on reading is in a package on the way to me. I will probably get it tomorrow. However, like I said, this video is going up probably in a week or two, so I will put a picture up here somewhere of the book that I'm currently reading at the time that this video goes up. Question number 33 is last book to movie adaptation that you watched. And I think that the most recent one that I've seen is The Hunger Games, because after I read the trilogy for the first time in December, I watched the Hunger Games movie, and I planned to watch Catching Fire and Mockingjay Part 1, but that didn't happen. But I did watch the Hunger Games. Question number 34 is book character that you've always wanted to talk to, and I'm gonna have to go with Hermione or the Weasley twins. I love them. Question number 36 is favorite book snack. I honestly don't know. I don't tend to snack on the same things all the time, and I often don't find myself snacking when I'm reading. Not like because I don't want to get food in my books, but like I just tend to not do it. I don't know why. However, since the question's not on here, my favorite book drink is Dr. Pepper, but that's kind of my favorite drink for everyday life in every situation ever. Question number 35 is name an author that you've always wanted to talk to, and this one's kind of hard for me because as an introvert, I hate meeting new people, and like even if it's someone that I really look up to, I don't want to meet new people because like I get really nervous. Like anytime I've met someone who like is a celebrity or I see as a celebrity, I get really nervous and flustered and I can't talk properly and I just get really nervous. So I would probably like not want to meet an author because I would be worried that I would just like word vomit. But maybe like Patrick Rothfuss, he seems like a really chill dude. I feel like I could sit down and talk to him. Question number 37 is book world that you want to live in, and obviously Harry Potter world. Duh. Question 38 is book world that you least want to live in, and I'd probably have to go with Panem from Hunger Games. I mean, it's not like I could be drafted into the Hunger Games because I'm too old, but it would still be kind of a crappy world to live in, unless you lived in like the capital. Question 39 is last time you smelled a book, last time I read a book. Question 40 is weird insults used in books, and honestly I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure that Jace from the Mortal Instruments series has several of them because he's Jace and he's sassy and he says lots of mean things and sometimes they come out weird. Question number 41 is favorite romance book, and I'm not a huge fan of books that are like just romance. It's not really my thing. I like action and fantasy and dystopian worlds and stuff like that. However, there is one book that I like that is mostly romance, and that's All American Girl by Meg Cabot. It's not like a romance book, but yeah. Question number 42 is do you write? And yes, I do. I participated in NaNoWriMo. I only got half of the word count in, which I wasn't totally sad about because I am a full-time student and I have like jobs on campus as well, so I'm working a lot and I have lots of homework and I'm in a lot of music ensembles, so like finding the time to do that on top of all of my work, I was really proud of myself for that. However, I haven't touched that draft since NaNoWriMo finished, so yeah. I've actually been working on the story since like 6th grade. Obviously the version that I have today is very, very different than the one that I had in 6th grade. But yeah, I'm really familiar with the story, and sometimes it's hard to continue to write it when it's been so fully formed in my mind for so many years. And the version that's in my mind right now has never fully been put to page from beginning to end. And so that's kind of my goal by the end of the year, is to have that all written down in a full draft. It's not my first draft of the story, however, it is the first draft of the newest version of the story, which I think will end up being the final version once it's, you know, tweaked and stuff. Question number 44 is favorite magical item, and duh, a wand. Question number 44 is Quidditch position, and I think that the coolest Quidditch position is a beater. That may just be because the Weasley twins were beaters, however, I think that that would be the most fun in a Quidditch game, just like taking a bat and like hitting the bludgers. That sounds like fun to me. However, there's probably also a very good chance that I wouldn't play Quidditch because I am not an athletic person. I used to be when I was a kid, but I'm not anymore. I'm kind of a lazy couch potato, so I probably wouldn't play Quidditch. However, if I were to play Quidditch, I'd definitely be a beater. Question number 45 is song that you connect to a book, and this is kind of a cop-out, but I chose Unsaid Things by McFly for Unsaid Things Are Story by McFly. Like I've said in the past, McFly is my absolute all-time favorite band, and this book is basically just an autobiography talking about the band's formation all the way up until this book was written, which was in 2012. And it's also named after one of their songs, so that's kind of a cop-out. And here's another cop-out, Across the Universe by Beth Revis, which I associate with the song Across the Universe by the Beatles, because that's what it's named after, as well as all the other books in the trilogy. Question number 46 is favorite book chat-up line. You're assuming here that I use chat-up lines, which I don't. However, a good question is always, do you like Harry Potter? Question number 47 is, have you ever used it? Not like to actually use it as a chat-up line, but I've asked several people whether or not they liked Harry Potter, and as a way to like get to know them. It's actually partially how I met one of my best friends, because at Welcome Week, our freshman year of college, we actually had this barbecue at the president of the college's house, and I was sitting at a table full of people, and we started talking about Harry Potter, and she loved Harry Potter as much as I did, and now, almost 3 years later, we are best friends. Question number 48 is favorite book fandom. I mean, do I really need to answer this? Question number 49 is how many books do you own? And this is a kind of ambiguous question because I have 2 bookshelves here, and then I have a bookshelf at home too, and I'm not sure how many books I have on my bookshelf at home. However, the books that I have here are roughly in the neighborhood of 160, I think. And finally, question number 50, as I hit the 50-minute mark on how long I've been recording, is who do you tag? And honestly, I'm not going to tag anyone because I feel like every single person has done this. So if you want to do it, it's fun, but I feel like most people have already done this. So yeah, that is all for this tag video. It is now almost 1 in the morning, which normally doesn't faze me, but I'm kind of sleepy right now, if you couldn't tell. My eyelids are drooping. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. As always, I will leave a link down in the description to my blog and to my Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!